One of the things that stuck out to me, and I read this in one of your quotes, is that really human-centered connection to this, because a lot of times when you hear the term innovation, people are using it synonymously with the word technology, right? So they're changing their chief technology officer to their chief innovation officer. I'm like, but has the thinking changed in any of the stuff that you talked about? And you mentioned kind of some of your curriculum stuff, and we were talking about this before. And I was sharing about how I kind of saw these two different paths. When I first really kind of focusing on the notion of innovation, there was like, hey, we're going to have like an innovation class that's focused solely on entrepreneurship, kind of cutting edge technology. Whereas mine was like, hey, like you should actually really kind of focus on, how are we thinking differently about how we teach, our language arts classes? How do we teach our math classes, our science classes? And really, having that mindset, obviously, that's something. And so the latter seems to describe more of the work that you're doing at NEIA. Would that be correct in kind of how you're looking at things?
Yeah, it's a yes and so we absolutely do have a standalone class called Innovation Studio, where students take on topics like coding and robotics and design and sort of traditional innovation topics. But that ethos is threaded throughout the entire curriculum. And so we certainly, we have our language classes exploring virtual reality scenarios. So they're speaking the target language on a train in Spain. We
Mhm.
have our art classes down in our makerspace, hand binding books. We have our math classes, laser cutting parabolas, so it's that blend of innovative thinking
Yeah.
as well as innovative resources that support the student experience.
The language one was kind of interesting that you mentioned, because I don't know if you saw this, because we're recording this in September. The Apple, it was like probably
Yeah.
out of all the iPhone stuff, the most innovative thing, or the most probably talked about thing, was the AirPods. And basically you could go to and speak to somebody else, and you would hear them in your own language. And you could either, if they had AirPods, right, they're trying to get everyone to have AirPods, they would hear you back in their language. You can kind of have a conversation with each other, or it could actually, share that on the screen. I thought it was really, really interesting to see that. And